It's love, it's the pyjama party, it's 8:44.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Talking politics with Phil Goff.
Leader of the Labour Party, Phil Goff, joins us on the motorway somewhere in Auckland today. G'day there to you, Phil.
Yeah, g'day, Wammo.
I was seeing you on the motorway this morning. We should start off talking about that big prison that's being built in central Auckland that is looming over the motorway, in Auckland grammar there as well. You're being blamed as the architect of this one, Phil.
Yeah, look, this is a prison whose design was approved by the Auckland City Council appointed independent commissioners. It was approved by the Auckland City Council appointed Urban Design Council. It will, at the end of it, look like any other commercial building. Won't be particularly beautiful, but nor do I think that it deserves the term eyesore. I just wonder if we'd built this prison out in South Auckland with the other three new prisons, whether there'd be the same level of complaints. If it was built next to, Ngātapawai College or Hillary College, would there be the same level of complaints? Or is it simply people saying they don't want a prison in their backyard? Well, I'm sorry, people in the Auckland City area do commit crimes, and they do need to be constrained in prison facilities in the area where they commit them.
Is it so symptomatic, this building of this prison, especially in central Auckland there, and it's towering and it's in full view of everyone? Is it symptomatic though of our society at the moment, where we're locking up more people per capita than most other countries in the world?
Well, it is symptomatic of that. The reason that it's a high-rise where it is because everybody wanted to preserve the old prison, which is a fairly grim-looking fortress, but it is part of Auckland's history, and there's not a lot of room on site, so instead of spreading out, you go upwards. But if people, a lot of the people that might be protesting about having the prison there will be the same people that'll be demanding that we lock more and more people up. Well, I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways.
Phil, let's talk about your agenda today, because you're going to go and talk to the Foreign Affairs Minister for Australia. Why are you having the meeting?
Well, I've got an ongoing role as Leader of the Opposition in terms of foreign affairs. Stephen Smith's in town for a discussion with the Pacific Forum Ministers Action Group in regard to Fiji. I'll have a session with him. I was actually in Australia over the weekend, had a conversation by phone with Kevin Rudd. Australia's an important trading partner, important political partner with New Zealand. I've got close links with the Australian Labour Party, so I maintain those connections.
And what will be on the agenda today?
Well, I guess we will be talking about the issue that he'll be discussing with foreign ministers in Auckland later in the day, which is how do you move forward on Fiji? Everybody in New Zealand would like to see an improved relationship with Fiji. Unfortunately, the government in Fiji hasn't done anything that will give anybody any confidence that democracy is on the path to being restored there. And with control of the media and interference with the judiciary, obviously that creates a real problem between us and a country with whom we've had a long and friendly relationship. But we'll be talking about trading matters as well. We'll be talking about the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty Review Conference that's just concluded in New York on Friday. Some progress there, but a lot more that needs to be done if we're to eliminate nuclear weapons as well as promote non-proliferation.
Now, one thing I do want to know before you leave, if Labour was in government, would you have treated the Pete Bethune situation in Japan any different? Would you have given him extra support?
I think I would have been less coy than the current foreign minister. My view on Pete Bethune is, well, he will be held responsible for the consequences of his protest action, and that's fair enough within the Japanese judicial system. But I think I'd be quite clear in my public comments that Pete Bethune's not a criminal. He's a protester, and his actions need to be looked at in that light. This talk about locking him up for years, he's already been locked up for months because of his criminal actions, is just nonsense. This is a man that has deeply and sincerely held views. They're against commercial whaling. Did he do the right thing in boarding the ship? Probably not. Was he to blame for the crash between his ship, the 80 Girl, his boat, and the whaler? Well, if the Australian government would come clean and provide information to the New Zealand inquiry,
The Japanese
we'd have a
government?
idea about that.
The Japanese government come clean, you mean?
Yeah, the Japanese government should have provided that information. It may well be that Pete Bethune is the injured party in this, that his boat was sunk by illegal actions by the whaler, and yet he is the man that's on trial. But we haven't had the cooperation we would have expected from the Japanese government in ensuring that the inquiry can find who was to blame in the crash between the two vessels.
Should the New Zealand government have put some kind of pressure on the Japanese government to fess up?
Well, I think they should be putting pressure on the Japanese government to come clean with the information that is needed for the inquiry into the sinking of the 80 Gill. The New Zealand government can't interfere with the judicial system of Japan, but they can make very clear our view that this man is guilty of a protest action, not a criminal action. And
if Pete was to receive a sentence that in our terms would seem outrageous, I'm talking years for whatever he did, should New Zealand step in then and say, well, hang on, let's negotiate here and get him back home?
Well, I'm not sure whether the Japanese government is any more capable of interfering in the operation of its court system than we are. What the New Zealand government could do, of course, is to provide the support within the judicial system for any appeal on the part of Pete Bethune. I would hope that they would do that.
Because I'm thinking, remember how the French managed to negotiate their spies out of New Zealand when they were imprisoned here after only a few years. So.
Yeah, well, an outrageous action by the French, threatening New Zealand with all sorts of implications for our trading relationship. I think that was a period of shame for the French government.
Phil Goff, thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thanks very much. Good to talk to you, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Leader of the Labour Party, Phil Goff, there with us on the motorway, probably Southern Motorway, Auckland.